Space games are really fun and really interesting, but they all have one very big downside, and it's also their upside as well. They are notoriously difficult to run. Surprisingly enough, the amount of space, literal space like that, is a little bit difficult to run for our measly modern computers. But not all space games require stunning graphics in order to play them. Some rely on simpler graphics for better gameplay, and those games usually are most fun to play. And today I want to talk about one of such games. The game that is absolutely severely underrated and is often, if not always, overlooked when talking about space games overall. And it is none other than Avorion. And not gonna lie, I was overlooking this game myself until someone in my comment section of the video about X4 actually mentioned this game, and I just decided to purchase it myself. And boy, that was an absolutely correct decision. So is Avorion actually worth buying? So I'm not gonna be wasting any more time and tell you that yes, absolutely. Avorion is an amazing space sandbox game. And if you like games like X4, and if you like building and exploring the universe, Avorion is absolutely amazing. Plus, it's incredibly easy to run. So easy to run that it can run on a handheld gaming PCs. But the key metric on finding whether this game is good or not is understanding what it is. And let me talk about that. And this video is sponsored by this channel's brand new sponsor, Instant Gaming. If you want to get best games for the cheapest prices, no matter it's on a PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo consoles, and you don't want to wait for any sales, Instant Gaming is the way to go. And I also partnered with Instant Gaming for epic giveaway of any game of your choice in the description down below. So click the link in the description to take part in there. And also, every purchase that you make on Instant Gaming through my link will help the channel as well. So click the link in the description to get the best games for the best prices. Now back to the video. In a few words, Avorion is space sim sandbox. You're actually thrown into space and you can do whatever that you want. That's literally it is. Yes, game actually has a central story, which is not anything fantastic, but it's just there to keep the plot going and just to give you the place in this larger galaxy. But it's in the second place because it's literally a sandbox. Your goal is actually to thrive in this galaxy, and yes, in this case, it's almost literally galaxy. It's a huge galactic map divided into different sectors, and the space is very large. You will not be running out of space, no pun intended, anytime soon when you're gonna start playing this game. But the first thing that falls into your sight while you'll be seeing this game is its small blockiness. Because yeah, this is actually a voxel based game where every single thing that you can build, you are building yourself block by block. And yes, every single ship can be built by you. And the ship building system is actually quite robust and quite amazing. If you like to build a system in a games like Space Engineers, you're gonna love it here as well. But here the limitations are actually far less than in any other games, because you are not actually limited with the size and shapes of the blocks, because you can change their sizes and shapes in whatever way that you want, and their function will also be reflected in that. Like for example, if you have a thrusters and if you make them very small, they're gonna have a very tiny thrust, but they're gonna also use very tiny amounts of energy. But if you're gonna enlarge them and make them huge, they're gonna have a huge kick, but they will also be consuming large amounts of energy. And it's the same thing basically for everything else. And outfitting your ship and building the as good ship as possible is extremely important, because because it's voxel based, every single part of the ship is damageable. Like for example, if you're gonna get into combat and if you damage enemies thrusters first, they won't be able to escape from you. Or for example, if you're under attack and want to escape and also don't want to be damaged while doing so, you can actually start fighting until you destroy enemies' weapons and then run away. You don't need to get it till the end, and you can do that just because you don't have enough firepower or you don't want a lot of ships chasing you. And this damageable parts also translates into actually flying, because you have a bunch of different ships, a bunch of different stations, a bunch of different asteroids around you. So if you have a larger ship, you need to be careful in maneuvering to not damage any part of your ship. And it's not as easy as you think, because the game actually features actual Newtonian physics, so control of the ship is a bit difficult as you grow larger, because you will not have enough power to maneuver them. So in a shipbuilding, imagination and your resources actually is your limit. But if you are too lazy to do that, like for example I am, you can actually download the ship designs from a sim workshop or just buy ready-made ships in the game. It's also fine. And based on the different parts, ships also might differentiate on what they actually do, well, i.e. the roles. Like for example, if you're outfitting your ships with a bunch of different turrets or chain guns, well, you're basically creating a combat ship. But if you're outfitting your ship with a bunch of mining lasers, well, you have your own miner. If you install a bunch of cargo bays, you have your trading ship. And if you're gonna combine them, well, you're basically combining different different types of ship, basically creating something universal, which is good at everything and great at nothing. Things like that is amazing, and no other big space games allows you to do that. And by space games, I mean like Elite Dangerous, Star Citizen, and X4, and of course No Man's Sky. Yeah, someone will throw Starfield in there, but Starfield is more of a Fallout in space rather than a space sim, so I'm not counting them in. You also have an ability to create your own fleets. Basically, you are not limited to your own ship only. You can actually create other ships, assign crew to those other ships, and give them commands to do a bunch of different things, just like you can do in games like X4. So if you want to have other ships following you as a fighting wing, you can do that, and if you want to send those ships to do some mining tasks or some trading tasks, you can do that as well. Granted that AI is not the best and is making mistakes quite often, but it is quite playable as well. Then this game is quite large, and you're gonna have quite a lot of things to do. Plus, you kind of have a clear progression path because game has a bunch of different levels of materials that you can mine and unlock, and the closer you get to the galactic center, the more frequent those rare materials will become, and stronger ships and stronger parts you can build from these rare materials. And that means that basically you have kind of like your own progression as well. Plus, the ships can have some kind of upgrade systems as well, that you can install different upgrade chips that allows them to have more parts, to have their increased energy output and things like that, which adds kind of like an RPG element to the game as well. And the most important part, which people who kind of do not like X4 and most people who do not like X4 are the ones who never played it, is the biggest thing why people love Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen 4, and it is multiplayer. This game has a multiplayer, and not just has it, it's one of the central part, because even while you're playing a single player, technically you are creating a single player server. So if you want to invite other people to your game, or if you want to join other people's games, you can actually do that as well. And not just that, there are also public servers with the PvP on, so if you want to do something crazy like that and go there and just destroy some other people's ships or get your own ship destroyed, you can do that as well. And only two things that this game actually lacks that is beloved by Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous fans are, well, the looks. This game does not look that great, but it has to be said, it's not a secret. However, it can be run on very weak PCs because of that, and it does not have any planets. So this is a purely space game, just like X4. There are no planetary landings. This is a pure space game. So if you like the games because of space element and not because of its planet elements, you're gonna love this game as well. But game good, game great, doesn't really matter. If I cannot afford it, why does it matter? So let's talk about the pricing of the game. Game is available on Steam for the base price of $24.99. It's not even $50 or $60 game, and often goes on sale for up to $10. But not gonna lie, $10 sales are not frequent. Their usual lowest price is around $12.49. And if you missed any of the sales, just for a little bit more than that, you can purchase this game on an instant gaming. So does the price match the quality? Absolutely. More than that, if you like the space games, you're gonna enjoy this a lot. And this game has almost everything that any good space game should have. Now, granted, I want to give you a very important distinction, and it's about handheld gaming. I played this on my Lenovo Legion Go, and graphically, this game looks stunning. It runs easy on even 1600p. But there is an important issue. It is very hard to play this game with gamepad because you literally do not have enough buttons on the gamepad. So for the full experience, you will need a keyboard and mouse for that. Yes, I'm not a big fan of that as well, but yeah, it is what it is. This game was not made for a gamepad. And yeah, if you like space games, this is the game that you should at least try to understand whether you like something like that or not. And if you don't really know which space games you might like and you want to have a huge list of 27 of them, you can watch them right here. Or if you want to know more about the kind of like a big brother of Avorion, which is X4, you can watch my latest review of it right here as well. This will be it for today. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out Instant Gaming as well. And I'm going to see you in the next one. Take care.